Which gimbal should you buy in 2025? Having used everything from early days on the Glide Cam to the Ronin M, S, RS2, RS3 Pro, and now the RS4, let me tell you what I think is the best bang for your buck on the market as someone who uses them professionally every single day. And the reason I'm making this video is because about 6 months ago, I just could not decide whether I was okay downgrading from the RS3 Pro to the RS4, and I couldn't find any videos that convinced me either way. So I hope that this can be that reassurance for some of you watching that are looking to make the right decision. Now, let me start by saying I'm not the strongest guy in the world, but using gimbals for so long, all day, multiple days a week, I'm used to the weight of these larger setups. And I used to run the C70 on the RS3 Pro, but after a while, it does take a toll on your body. You know, your back, your knees, your shoulders, everything is sore all the time. And I think, you know, looking back, I so badly wanted to run a bigger setup because I thought that a bigger and more expensive looking setup would mean higher paying clients, which honestly is true. So ask yourself what the main type of work that you plan on shooting is. Do you need something that will carry a larger cinema camera like the C70? And if you want the biggest, highest end budget projects, the bigger and higher end setup is going to give your client the perception that you are worth it. And that's just a fact. But me personally, I'm not shooting these as much anymore. I've shifted with the market in my area a bit, and I'm mostly shooting real estate and some social media content for other businesses. So higher end productions just aren't really my thing anymore. But say using, you know, the C70 on the Pro gimbals, say it's like a 10 out of 10 quality and perception, but a 0 out of 10 convenience, compared to the R5C on the RS4 being like maybe a 9 out of 10 quality and perception, but a 7 out of 10 convenience. So it's an absolute no-brainer which one you're going to pick each time. So I'm not going to beat around the bush. The reason that I bought the RS4 instead of sticking with the Pro gimbals like the last few times, the biggest part would be the weight and the size. And I typically only use these for a little over a year at a time maybe, and then I just end up buying a new one. And when you take that into account and almost double the price for something that's performing essentially the same, getting 1 year out of it and then buying another one, it's just really not worth it for the main type of work that I'm shooting, which are property tours. So it's typically 5 to 10 videos a week throughout the year. And sometimes there's 4 of those in a day. Now, say if I was only using it a few times a month with a bigger setup for more commercial style work, I would absolutely buy the RS4 Pro instead. But this is just a tool that will give me essentially everything I need for a year and then on to the next thing. So for me, this just made more sense, and it gives you all the features you need every day with the convenience. Because I absolutely love the auto locking when you turn it on and off. This is a major time saver, and I didn't really think that I would care that much, but it's super nice to have. And the RS4 also weighs about half a pound less, and doesn't sound like much, but you film with this for 8 hours straight, 3 days a week, and then tell me that that half a pound doesn't make a difference. It absolutely does. All that being said, the RS4 can hold around 6 pounds, which is going to cover just about any mirrorless camera that the majority of us are going to be using. You know, Canon, Sony, even Blackmagic, just about any lens. And of course, there are a few of us using larger cinema cameras. Obviously, you're going to go for the Pro version, but to everyone else, you just don't need it. I really don't think you need it. Even something like the FX3 and maybe say a 24-70 G Master lens, it's still going to be just a little over 3 pounds. So the RS4 is going to do just fine. The motors, even though this is technically a step down model-wise, I think spec-wise, these motors are better, and this is just a more refined gimbal. And honestly, I had nothing but bad luck with the RS3 Pro. This was, out of everything, probably my least favorite in a long time. It was incredibly wobbly. And to be fair, I did drop it quite a few times, but that's besides the point. So I think if you're using this daily, realistically, you should be replacing them every year to maybe a year and a half. I end up buying a new one just about every season because that's been the typical amount of time that I can use them before they start to go downhill. You know, things happen, they get shaky, and sometimes they get a little bit of a tilt that you can't get rid of, and that just adds to your editing time. And if you're having to add warp stabilizer to every single clip every day, it's just a ton of wasted time, and it's not worth it. The one thing that I actually think is a downgrade is the battery life, and it might be slight, but I have found that I do have to charge this every couple of days, where the RS3 Pro would typically last for probably closer to a week. And again, it's slight, but for me, it definitely was noticeable. So if you're looking to go a longer time without charging, the Pro gimbal is going to give you that option. And lastly, if you're using any other model, you know how much of a pain vertical shooting is. I tried it on the RS3 Pro for a while. It's just really not usable. You have to hold it really awkwardly, and it's extremely inconvenient. And of course, you can get a mount, obviously, but when you want to switch to horizontal, it's going to take added time that I personally don't have. And I love to be able to switch from vertical to horizontal, sometimes multiple times during a shoot. And switching over to vertical mode on the RS4 it's like as simple as screwing and unscrewing a few things and flipping it, and you can do it in like 15 seconds. And it's incredibly handy, and it saved me so much time over the year. So funny story about why I actually bought this to begin with, when I already owned the RS3 Pro, which cost $350 more at the time. Super long story short, I left it on the tailgate of my truck leaving a shoot, and it fell on the side of the highway. So I ordered the RS4 the next day, and I was just like, whatever, it's gone. I'll never see that again. It happens. You know, you're tired. I have a baby. And the craziest thing happened. About a month later, my buddy Jake found this on Facebook Marketplace, and the guy was just trying to return it to the owner. And I messaged him, proved it was me. I gave him like the exact time, date, and like exactly where it fell, because he was working on the side of the road and literally watched it fly off the back of my truck. And he said like 100 other people messaged him saying that it was theirs. And I met up with him, and we got it back. And he just wanted to make sure that the original owner got it back. So absolutely crazy. There's so many good people in the world, you know, regardless of what you see on social media and everything. There's so many good people that just want to do the right thing. But honestly, I can't even begin to say how thankful I am that I ended up buying this instead. With the amount of vertical shooting that I do and being able to natively switch over to vertical mode in a few seconds, honestly, it's just worth every penny. So if you're on the fence about what to get, like I was a few months ago, I would say for the majority of people, the RS4 is going to absolutely be the best use of your money. The vertical shooting is a game changer, and I would 100% recommend it for that reason alone. The size is a lot more convenient, and truly, I wish I had made this switch a lot sooner. From the experience that I've had, it's just smoother in general as well. That's going to do it for this video. Subscribe if you haven't yet. I hope you guys learned something. My name's Devin, and I run a creative agency in New England, and I post videos just like this one every week. I'll see you guys in the next one.